Hi, Shiver here for GosuGamers for the Dota 2 Asia Championship, and with me is 1437, the coach of Team Secret. How are you this evening?
Doing fine. Felt a bit sick in the morning, but yeah.
A bit sick because you had such success that you needed to celebrate?
No, I think I probably ate something bad. Yeah.
Actually, a lot of players before this, I mean, I'd never been to China before this, were, at least the impression I had was that the food here wasn't really great, but so far for me it's been okay. Like, obviously you ate something bad, but in general, how are you enjoying the food here?
I think it's fine. I mean, I lived in China before. I think just Western players in general are like more picky about what they want to eat anyway. I mean, it's natural, I guess. I think like a lot of food here has like bones and this kind of inconvenient stuff. So
More annoying food.
yeah.
Like rice. Sorry. This tournament, the DAC, how are you enjoying the tournament so far? Many people call it the mini TI. Do you feel like it is?
Yeah, for sure. I think like all the best teams are pretty much here right now. It is a lot like TI, I guess, because of the format and everything. So yeah.
How are you enjoying the format? I mean, there were long days for the group stages. Obviously, you came out on top, so not much to complain about. But what do you feel about the situation?
I think the format's really good. It's like a lot like TI3, I think, and I prefer that over TI4 format, I believe. I forgot what the second part of the question.
Well, mostly the format and the like the group stages for example, best of ones on stage for the lower bracket.
I think that's fine. Like TI3 was BO1 for the first and then BO1 for the second, but pretty much in this tournament, the first BO1s are like cut out, right, to make some time, I guess, and then it's like BO1 none and they go to BO3s, and I'm sure that's like perfectly fine because like it gives a chance for the bottom four after top eight to still be able to play and all. It's definitely good.
And for this tournament, at first coaches were, I believe, allowed in the rooms until something changed, and at least during the draft, and coaches were not allowed during the draft in the rooms anymore with the players. Coaching in general, I mean, we can't really talk too much, of course, about you coaching Secret, but coaching in general has been a bit more popular. How do you see the future of coaching of Dota 2 teams?
I feel like it's maybe a necessity. I thought of this like a couple of years ago, or maybe like a year ago, that like if a team, let's say, had a coach who did like what I believed was right for a coach to do at the time, they can like really have a significant advantage over other teams. Because as a player, I felt like I needed like some extra assistance, but I couldn't do it myself because I thought like it was like extra work or something that I wouldn't want to do for like every single game or something like that. I think it's something that people will look into, especially when like a team with a coach or something succeeds, because everyone who is like successful, everyone like others will look up to them and stuff. So they'll see like what they have that they don't. So.
Actually, during TI4, Alliance had not only a coach, but also they had Coach Winter, of course, and they also had a stats guy, a person that actually was looking through all the stats of the teams in terms of drafts, in terms of heroes, all kinds of stats that you can think of. Would that be, like, as a coach, would you like to have a statsman by your side, or is that something that you rather do yourself to make your own conclusions and such?
I mean, stats are like important, but I'm not sure exactly how important numbers really are. Dota is like a game of feel, pretty much. So experience is like normally much more important than any stats can give you. So like if you just rely only on stats, then you might like overlook some things that you don't like. But of course, it's something nice to have, and if you can like balance both, like your knowledge with stats and stuff, then you can really get like the perfect thing going. Maybe it's something to look into for the future, but I think maybe right now it's pretty fine.
Okay, and so far, Goblak, Fear, Mikasa, they've all been coaches and they went back to playing. How does that feel for you? Do you miss playing at all?
Yeah, of course. I think especially when we're like practicing or like seeing online and stuff, sometimes I feel like I just want to be able to play or something, but it's like it's your decision to make pretty much. For me, it was like I just wanted to do this because I felt like I couldn't really play or get like some the players that I really would like to play with at the time. So I just thought that maybe I should try this out instead and see where that takes me. So yeah, but I think like maybe Fear and Goblik was more for like TI, because they wouldn't be able to play anyways at TI, and they would rather like help or see another team like succeed with their knowledge and stuff. So yeah, Mikasa I think also was like not intended to go back to playing, because he was actually like a true coach. Like he was coaching for like other tournaments and stuff in Team Newbie, and I think he was coaching for Tongfu before at TI 3. Yeah, so he's like a true coach, and he's only playing I think just because they don't have like a replacement for their player that they kicked. So.
Do you feel like if, for example, a player would now drop out for Secret, that you could stand in without any issues? Like, do you keep up with your competitive play? I mean, I'm assuming you're still playing pubs, obviously, but that's obviously different than actually playing scrims and such.
I mean, I think when I became a coach, like I spent much more time on Dota. Like I watch all the games, scrims, all that stuff. I watch opponents, and then I also spend time like practicing, and I think like as in playing pubs and keeping my micro skills up and stuff like that. I think compared to when I was a player and now, I spend much more time on Dota 2, and I feel like my skills or something hasn't like diminished or anything, except for like we're at tournaments and stuff and I have to focus on other things. But overall, I would rather have like probably someone else play anyway, just because I feel like I can do more from being like coaching or something during, let's say, this big tournament or something. Yeah.
Do you think that being a coach then made you a better player? Like, for example, Secret wins TI5. Hey, guys, we're all millionaires. We're stopping, but you still want to continue playing. Do you think you'll be a better player if you now continue playing as a professional player?
For sure. I think, I mean, I've spent so much time with all these guys and stuff, and I think when you take a back seat and you see everything, like you still learn much more and much faster as well, probably. Compared to before, I would definitely be maybe even like 3 times better or something like that. Yeah.
And a captain in that case as well?
Yeah, sure. I think in my previous teams I was always like a captain or something, but I would probably evolve as well for sure. I mean, like I think captains as they get older, like and more mature, they become better as well. So I think with all this experience and me growing up and like learning other things, yeah, I would definitely be a better captain or something.
And you have also casted a lot in the past, and you have a big following in terms of people that love your casting. Is it something that you plan to do more in the future? Let's say 5 years ahead. I mean, maybe maybe you hurt your arm, you can't play Dota anymore. If you can't play, what would you do? Like, is coaching for you like the future, or rather maybe casting or something else?
I mean, I think 5 years is like too far into the future to see. I think I only do casting because there's some interesting match or something and I really would like to do it or do it for fun. It's definitely something like to look into. I think if I have like if that's the option like I want to take or whatever, I feel like there's gonna be quite a few options for me if like let's say this coaching thing isn't something that I want to do anymore. But I think like casting, it's like hard to do all the time, because like you can't take it like seriously or something like 100% of the time. At least for me, if it's not some game like I'm super interested in or something like that.
You can't pretend to be interested.
Well, I mean, Dota is like a really good game. There's so many things that you can be interested in, even when you're casting like some different tier game or some game where like people aren't playing so well or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's true. You can't be interested or fake interest or something like that.
Now, this tournament has been very successful for your team, 15-0. Were you expecting that? To do well, maybe, but to 15-0?
I think after like the second day or something, I felt like, okay, this is like, it's definitely possible or something. I won't say that I'm surprised or something because it's just not the feeling that I got when we got to that point. But maybe it's because like we try to always find out like how to improve ourselves all the time, even when like we're winning or something.
Were there any teams that really underperformed for you, or that you felt like should have done better, or maybe even teams that did like really well instead, while you were expecting them to maybe perform less?
Yeah, I think LGD I thought would do much better. Um, and then there's like HR and Navi, like they're top eight for sure. And I think that was really impressive of them because I felt like Navi might have had like internal issues or something like this. But when they came to this land, they like fixed themselves up and they just trusted each other and just played. After like the first day, they went like 9-2 or something like that, something really good. Also Big God, they also like improved themselves during the tournament. I think like each game that went by, all their players just like evolved and became much stronger. So those three are definitely like to look out for.
What do you think the reason is that the Western Dota is now so, well, what seems to be ahead, so far ahead compared to Chinese teams?
mm, I would say maybe it's like the play style or like how the game itself is right now. Maybe like I remember during TI3 times, the like Eastern Dota was far behind, and then like Western Dota was ahead. Maybe it's like coming back to that point in time, or like.
Do you feel that that's actually kind of scary? Because indeed, TI3, Western Dota, TI4, Chinese Dota, or rather Asian Dota, and then TI 4.5, which kind of is this Chinese Dota, or rather Western Dota, and then maybe TI5 back to Chinese Dota. Is that something that you're afraid of? After, of course, they've seen everybody in action, the Chinese teams, they basically got a kick under their butt and might be able to pick themselves up and perform even better at TI5?
I mean, it's definitely important for them to like see what's happening and try to improve themselves because like it's important for Dota itself and competition and stuff. I'm not really afraid of anything like that because at the end of the day, you only need to focus on yourself and become the best you can be. If you like start thinking about those kind of things, you're gonna like go off track and it's not gonna be good for any team at all if you think about that.
Fair enough. If you were to say a top three, I mean, you're including yourself, I would assume. Which other two teams would you share the top three with? You don't have to mention a order if you don't want to.
Good question. I would think Big God can be there. And I would also like to believe VG would also be there too.
No Western teams?
I mean, it's weird. Like I feel like all the teams are about the same, but when it comes to like top 8 and stuff like that, and BO3s, I feel like Chinese teams always have like a little bit of an edge over that. And of course, this was just group stage, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But I would like, tilt the scale a bit towards the Chinese teams.
What do you feel about Big God in terms of, I mean, they played 10 scrims before this tournament. They basically put themselves together for this tournament. Do you feel like that's a natural way for a team to get as far as they did, or what do you feel like is their magic? How did they get here?
I mean, they're all like super experienced players. I think except for like Ice or whatever. But if you look at their roster, all of them can like play in any top team and they'll be completely fine. They just use like all their experience and their game knowledge to like adapt themselves. And especially they're like a new team, so they're open to like new ideas and how the meta game is. So they will just adapt to the situation. Where like old teams would feel more inclined to use their own strategies from like previous Dota maps and stuff like that, or balance and stuff. So like they won't be so open to using the new heroes and new strategies. For example, Big God might be looking more like a secret or something and seeing what they're playing, and they'll use that, or they'll look at EG or something and evolve, and they'll be open to those kind of things.
Okay, well, thank you for your insight and for the interview. I would generally ask you to shout out your sponsors and such, but since you don't have any, I mean, you can say anything, it's your time.
Well, I would like to give a shout out to all the fans who bought the companion and has been supporting this tournament so far. Because without them, I feel like this tournament wouldn't be the same, and all the teams won't have the same amount of like motivation and such. So big shout out to them because the community is basically everything in Dota, and big shout out to my tiger friend.
Tiger friend?
Yeah.
You have a friend that's a tiger?
Yeah.
I wish I had a tiger friend. Well, thank you very much for taking this interview, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.